Everyone in the small desert town of Arroyo Hollow knew the stories. Never go past Mesa Ridge after sunset. Not because of coyotes or cliffs, but because of it. The Skinwalker. Maya didn't believe in old Navajo legends. She was a college student studying anthropology, home for the summer, and bored out of her mind. So when her cousin Lucas dared her to hike up Mesa Ridge at dusk, she jumped at the chance.
You'll hear it before you see it.
He warned with a half-serious grin.
It mimics people, especially people you know.
She brought a flashlight, a knife, and her phone. As the sun dipped below the horizon, the desert turned eerily quiet. No bugs, no wind, not even the usual distant howl of a coyote. Just silence. Then came the voice. Maya. It was her mother's voice, but it was off, drawn out, warbly, like a recording played back at the wrong speed. Maya froze. Maya, baby, come home. It's not safe up there. Her mother was 3 hours away in Phoenix. She turned and shone her flashlight around. Empty scrubland, rocks, nothing. Then she saw it. It looked like a man, but its arms were too long, legs too thin, and its skin shimmered like it couldn't decide which color it wanted to be. Patches of dark fur, pale flesh, and what looked like scales flickered across it. Its eyes reflected the light like an animal's.
Maya,
It said again, but now it sounded like Lucas. Perfectly. Too perfectly. It stood 10 feet away, in the open, still, watching. Its shape shifted right in front of her eyes. First tall and narrow like a man, then hunched and four-legged like an animal. The air grew heavy, like the world was holding its breath. Then it spoke, in her own voice, clear, perfect, and hollow. You shouldn't be here. The words weren't a warning. They were a statement, final and cold, like it already knew how the night would end. Maya took a step back. It took a step forward, mirroring her exactly. Every instinct screamed at her to run, but her legs felt locked in place. It tilted its head, then slowly opened its mouth, wider than humanly possible. And from it came a chorus of voices. Her mother, her friends, her own cries. Layered, overlapping, trapped. She didn't wait to see what it would do next. She ran. She burst from the brush and threw herself into the car, slamming the door and locking it tight. Her hands fumbled with the keys. Click. Nothing. She leaned back, gasping for air. The windows fogged with her breath. Her whole body trembled. She didn't look in the mirrors. She didn't move. She just sat there, paralyzed in the silence. Then, tap, tap, tap on the window beside her. She didn't look. She squeezed her eyes shut. Counted to 10, 20, 30. Silence. When she finally opened her eyes again, the tapping was gone. She didn't even reach for the ignition. She just sat there, staring into the empty desert. The car was cold. The night was still. The air felt thick, pressing in on her. But she didn't leave. She just waited. And whatever was out there, waited too. She stayed in the car until the first light of dawn broke over the desert. Her hand still gripped the wheel, fingers stiff, like they'd never let go. When she finally dared to look out the window, the desert was empty. No shape, no shadow, no movement. The road ahead stretched out, as if nothing had ever happened. Maya took a slow breath. The world felt different now. The weight on her chest, the feeling that something was still out there, never quite lifted. But the daylight gave her a false sense of safety. She had to get out of there. She turned the key. The engine roared to life. For a moment, she thought she might have made it. But as she pulled onto the road, she saw something. In the rearview mirror, a figure standing at the edge of the ridge. It wasn't there when she looked earlier. She was sure of it. But the worst part wasn't its shape. It was the way it watched her, like it already knew where she was going, knew she'd never be far enough away. She slammed her foot on the gas. Her heart raced. The figure in the mirror didn't disappear. It just stayed, growing smaller in the reflection until it faded from view. She didn't slow down, didn't even look back. When she finally reached town, it felt like a lifetime had passed. She parked the car, and for the first time since she'd left the ridge, she felt like she could breathe again. She wasn't sure if she was imagining it, but she swore she could still feel eyes on her. She glanced over her shoulder. No one. That night, as she lay in bed, exhausted but unable to sleep, she heard it. A knock. Software. Slow. Like it was testing the walls. It came from the window. Not outside, but inside. Tap. 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 The sounds of fingers dragging over glass. Her eyes shot open, her heart pounded. She stared into the darkness, but she didn't move. She didn't dare. Then the whisper came.
Maya, I'm here.